So welcome again. Today I want to show you another tip how you can troubleshoot a slow laptop without even going to a technician. Let's say you're working on the laptop and it's very slow, or when you're opening it's very slow, when you're opening any document. There are many ways you can troubleshoot that and resolve the issue. One of them is just restarting your laptop. You just go to start button, then you go to power, then you click restart. If there is a pending update, you see restart and update and restart, you just click on that. So how does that help you? It clears temporary files and resets memory. Remember, all the programs that I'm opening here, they are running on memory. Memory is RAM, R-A-M. Laptop have RAM and storage. Don't confuse the two. Storage is either hard disk or SSD. That's where you store your files. But RAM is where programs run. When you open a program, it is loaded on the memory and runs from the memory. That is on the RAM. Maybe I can show you what I mean with that. Let's go to Task Manager. As you can see at the performance, we have disk, which is SSD. Mine is SSD. This is storage, where you store your files. All these files that are saved here on the desktop. The files I store on documents. On the documents, downloads, they are stored in SSD. In your case, it might be hard disk or external hard disk. There is memory. Memory is RAM, R-A-M. Now, when you open a program, any running program, like all these which are running, they are opened here on memory. So they are stored in disk C, but when I open, they open and they are loaded in memory, and that's where they start running from. You have had 8 GB RAM, 12 GB RAM, 16 GB, 32 GB, 64, or 4 GB or 2 GB RAM. That terminology refers to memory, where you load an application and it starts running. Like now I've opened this notepad. The notepad application is installed in disk C and it is stored there. If I close this, it is in disk C. When I open notepad, by opening it the way I've done, it is loaded from disk C and loaded into memory, and that's where it starts to run from. So I hope now you understand the difference. So when you shut down your laptop, you are closing this application. It's the same way as closing this application. It is removed from memory and returned to where it is stored without running. So that resets the memory. So you reduce. So when you restart the laptop, you remove the applications which are running in the memory and reset it to you reset it back so that now when you open new programs, they are loaded into memory. So that helps in speeding things up because now you're opening programs afresh. Remember, each program, like when I start typing here, I'm loading additional load to the memory. So by restarting, I'm offloading that load and reloading the application again. Even the program that I've opened, it has its own temporary files stored in the temporary folder. When I restart, they are cleared. I'll show you when I come to the next tip. So that's one way you can speed things up if you have a slow laptop. The other way is disabling startup programs. As I said, when you're restarting laptop, what do? The applications which are loaded to memory. Anything that runs on your laptop, including background services, they run in the memory, not in the disk. So then how can you speed up? You go to startup. So let's close the task manager. I show you how I've opened. So you go to task manager, taskbar, you right click, then open task manager, or you can go to start button, then you type task manager, then you can learn as administrator. I'm logged in as admin, so you go to startup. These are programs that are loaded when your laptop starts. When you press power button or when you restart your laptop, the programs which are enabled here are loaded by default. Like now, if you notice, Skype is open, but you can't see it. Java Updater is loaded, but you can't see it. But if you come here, we have Java Updater here, and we have Skype loaded. They are running in the background. So if a program is enabled here, it means it is being loaded at the start, at the boot time, when you are booting your laptop, either by restarting or by pressing power button to put it on. Then how do you then speed your laptop? By reducing the applications that are loaded on startup. How then do you reduce? Remember, when you're installing a program, there are programs that tell you whether you want it to be added as a startup program. If by default you leave it ticked, then that program is added at the startup and it's enabled by default. So then how do you stop it? You just click on the application, then you click disable. The next time I'm restarting my laptop, free download manager will not be loaded to memory by default. I have to go to start button, look for it, free download manager, and open. Once I open, it will be loaded. But remember, here it is disabled. It will still run. You can see it is now loaded here, and I've opened it afresh. And you can always tell the status whether they are running or not when you load. So that's how you disable some of these applications, because when they load, they are loaded in the memory, as I said. As long as it is open here or it is in the background, running in the background, there are these applications that run in the background processes. They are also loaded in the memory. And as you can see, there is a usage of memory. Like now I'm 73%. My laptop, however, is fast because I'm using SSD. So SSD is a bit faster. So if I notice my laptop is slow, I can come and close some of these applications. But then, when I open the next time, if they are in the startup option, then they will be loaded again. So that's why you need to come and disable. You just click on it, then you disable. Like now I can enable back. So that's another tip, how you can use disable startup programs to at least speed your things up. When you disable and you restart your laptop, that program will not be loaded in memory and your computer will run faster. The other tip is uninstalling unnecessary programs. Remember, when you take your laptop to a technician, some of them they install programs. Some of those programs you may not need. So you go to start button, you go to settings, apps. So we wait for that to open. So it will load all the apps which are installed. All these. You can click on the ones that you don't use. But make sure you know what you are doing. You just click uninstall, then click uninstall. It might require admin, then you confirm you are uninstalling. You let it uninstall and it's gone. If I want to install, I need to download afresh. That's why I said before you uninstall, be sure you download that program or you have an installation copy of that program. And remember, you can always see even the storage, this storage space it's taking. Remember, even your storage, your hard disk space matters a lot. So to increase your storage space, let's go to this PC. Like now you can see my local disk is in red. If I want to save additional space, increase my storage space, I would come and install this, that is 3 GB. I look for another program, but again, some of these programs I'm using, that's why I'm not uninstalling. So you can just check the programs that are taking more of your space and you don't frequently use them, and uninstall. Again, that speeds things up. The other tip on how to speed up your laptop is clearing temporary files. It's called disk cleanup. So then how do you clean that? You go to one folder, let's go to this PC, you right click your local disk, then go to properties, then you go to disk cleanup. I had done a full video on this process, don't want to go into details right now. So you just click clear temporary files. Remember, by restarting, we are also clearing temporary files. So using this process, you can clear temporary internet files and also temporary files here. Then you click OK. The process will start until it's complete. You can also clean up system files like Windows Update. They also take space. So you just click on that, then add them as part of whatever files you are clearing. That clears more of your disk space and allows your computer to have enough space for running. As I said, applications run on RAM. So in this case, you can scroll down, see whatever is not ticked, you tick, and make sure you tick files that you don't need. So I've done a full video on how to clear disk space using that process. Just check that video in this channel. The other way is to update your operating system and drivers. So you go to start button, you can type here Windows Update and click check for Windows Update. Allow your computer to check for Windows Update. It will download and you can go ahead and click install. I don't want to go through this process because I will download Windows 11, which I don't need. And make sure you have a genuine Windows when you are updating. The other process you can follow to speed things up is to check for malware and viruses. So you can go to your antivirus. Remember, I've done a video on how to use a free antivirus from Microsoft, which is Windows Defender. You can use a Windows Defender and do a quick scan. Then once scan is complete, if there is any threat, you can clean them up. Remember, malwares are unwanted programs running on your laptop, and you can't see them on the face of your laptop. They will be loaded on memory. Remember RAM. They will take additional RAM and slows things down. The other way, let's go back to our task manager. Today I think we are running so many technical jargons, but I hope I'm explaining in a way you understanding. If we go to performance, I said applications run on memory. What happens when the memory is full? Your computer may shut down. Your operating system gives you an additional way of extending this memory. Remember, for you to extend RAM, you may need to open your laptop, the bottom case, in some cases even remove your keyboard, then look for a additional slot for memory, RAM, then plug it in. Plug additional, like let's say if I have 8 GB, I can plug it into my laptop to make it an additional from 8 GB, so you have 16 GB in total. But remember, you're also adding up applications and programs. So then how can you extend memory without buying an extra RAM? You can use additional space from your disk. Remember, we cleaned our disk. That's why cleaning disk is very important. There is additional space which you can use as additional memory, additional RAM. So you are releasing disk space to use as additional RAM. And then how do you do it? It's called virtual memory. Remember what we did with in the previous tutorial with the virtual desktop, where you are creating imaginary desktops within the same laptop where you can swap in between. Yeah? Now we are creating additional memory within our disk using virtual memory. Then how do you do it? Let's close this. We go to start button, then settings, then we go to system, then we go to about, then we go to advanced settings on the right. Advanced settings. Once you have these, you can go to settings. So you make sure it is at the advanced tab. You go to settings under performance. Where there is performance, there is settings. Don't click the one for user profile. It's performance, then settings. Then you click advanced, and as you note, there is the option for virtual memory. Virtual memory is an area on the hard disk that we do use as if it was RAM. So what happens? When you load application, we said it loads in the RAM. It's running. When you close that application, remember it is still on the RAM. Let's go back to our task manager so that I explain this. So we have task manager here. We have our RAM. So I've opened Word document. It's loaded on RAM. I've opened a PDF document. It is loaded on RAM. So those are two files. I've opened Chrome. It is loaded on RAM. So I have Word document, PDF, and Chrome. They are all running in the memory. But remember, if I have Word document is the one I'm using, Chrome and PDF, they are still in the memory, but running in the background. Remember, they will not be seen on the face. Like now, I've opened settings in Task Manager. I also have Chrome opened, but you can't see it. It is still utilizing RAM, which slows down our laptop. So what can I do? I will go to the hard disk and specify. Now I'm in this screen. I will come here and specify the total space I may want to add to the RAM to have an additional virtual RAM. Mine I've set it to be automatic. You can always untick these and give specific figures, but then that may not work well. I usually prefer leaving it as automatic. Let it be managed so that we don't reserve a space in hard disk which you are not using. So let the system allocate. Like you can see, it has allocated around 7 GB. So that will take, and once you click OK, it will take effect after you restart. So I have additional RAM. So what happens? I'm using my, let's go back to the example we had. So I have this opened. Remember, my Chrome is still open, but you can't see it. So my laptop will show up all the applications that are still open in RAM and I'm not using into virtual memory, so that it releases space on RAM, which I can still continue to use. And when I open now Chrome, here, it is moved from virtual memory back to RAM and I can continue using. Then settings is moved back to the virtual memory. That's how a laptop keeps on swapping applications from virtual memory into RAM, then you can use. Then whatever you are not using is moved back to the virtual memory. Remember, it is not closed, it is still running. So that's the work of virtual memory, and it's very helpful in speeding your laptop. So make sure that is turned on and enough space is allocated. Allow computer to allocate virtual RAM. Don't try to allocate manually, because you reserve a space that you may not need. Again, utilizing your hard disk space for other things that you're not using. The other way you can speed your laptop up is by defragmenting your hard disk. So we go to settings. I've already opened. So when you're in the settings, we go to system, then storage. Then you go for option to optimize drives. Click optimize drives. Then from here now you can fragment. So now how do you do it? You click on optimize. Then you select the drive that you want to optimize and you click optimize. It will analyze, and that's done. The process is completed. And you can always tell how the storage is being used. So that's simple. You're just optimizing this storage. And finally, the last tip on speeding your laptop is closing unnecessary background processes. You go to Task Manager. Let's close this. Let me close. I open Task Manager. I want to close this. I show you how I open. You go to Taskbar and right click Task Manager, or you go to Start button. Start button and type Task Manager. It will be displayed there. Or you can right click the Start button and open Task Manager from there. So from here, we need to close unnecessary programs which are running in the background. So you go to Processes. So let me not maximize. So there are these applications which are running in the background. You just come and close the ones that you don't need. Like Autodesk Application Manager. And when you're closing, when you're adding task, make sure you know the application you're closing. Like Free Download Manager, you see it is using our RAM memory. That is memory space. So I can close that. I don't need to close Chrome because I closed this. And it also has its own background services that is running. Like there could be extensions which are added, which are also running. And when you're closing, make sure you know what you're closing. Always know the application. If you don't know the application, let's say HDD audio, I don't know what it is, just leave it. So that's how you speed a slow laptop. And if you're still experiencing a slow laptop, be sure to check link in the description of how you can contact me. And I can help you through either Telegram or WhatsApp or any other platform that we can use. And on this channel, as I said, I train how to make money online. Be sure to check playlist section. I've organized them in specific niches. I have also done a blog. You can also check the link in the description. And there are also other platforms that you can make money with, like Sow.me. I've left my referral link for Sow.me. And Sow.me you use with TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Remember to use the referral code when you are downloading Sow.me app and you register. I've done full video. Be sure to check playlist section. Go through those videos and let's make money together. So let's meet in the next one. Remember to like, subscribe and share. That's the only way you can support this channel.